On this episode of Real Frank Movie Reviews,
I review the movie Bad Boys, Ride or Die. Oh look, here's a picture from the premiere. Looks like Will brought a date.
Oh yeah, the bitch.
It's a throwback. The Oscar slap. See what I did there? Holla!
Real Frank.
Hello, everyone! Oh, what an audience! Oh, ladies! Woohoo! Yeah! Great crowd. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to take a look at Bad Boys Ride or Die. Now, I know I'm a little late, but I had to do this review because I was such a big Bad Boys fan. But if you could, please subscribe and check out my other videos and make sure to smash that like button. So here we are. This is the fourth one in this franchise. Who would have guessed? Now, what is Bad Boys Ride or Die about? When their late police captain gets linked to drug cartels, wisecracking Miami cops Mike Lowrey and Marcus Burnett embark on a dangerous mission to clear his name. Oh boy. I hope they can clear his name. Good old Captain Howard. May he rest in peace. So they're back. They got another case. And their captain, Captain Howard, as we know in the third one, got whacked. He got whacked by a sniper. And we found out the sniper was Will Smith's legitimate, I don't know, his son he didn't know he had. Also at the premiere, you may notice Will Smith's attire. Look at it. We've seen it before. He went all iRobot in this premiere. Remember that movie? I think he's having a midlife crisis, personally. So back to the movie. So here we have Mike Lowrey. The story for this movie is not very good. It is just too far funky. When I mean funky, I mean ridiculous. It's pretty sad too because there's some lot of cool things that they did with this movie. But one of the issues I have starting right off that made me not enjoy this movie was the facial hair and hair. This movie came out in 94, 95, the first one, the franchise started. So now we're going on almost 30 years. But miraculously, their hair and their beards are still very, very black. Look how black that goatee is, and look how black his hair is. It drove me insane how dark and black it was. Not a single hair of gray. I wish they would have owned the time frame and had both these characters age. But the blackness, the darkness of his facial hair and beard were just so distracting to me. I wonder what they used. I really wish they would have owned the age factor in this movie. Showed them both getting older, wiser. Why cover it up with some dye? Own it. I think it would have been appreciated by the audience. Make it more real. There's some huge issues with this movie for me. All right. First of all, Mike Lowrey is getting married. Yeah, the player's getting married. It's time to nap, right? That's how it starts. They're on the way to his wedding. Fantastic. Great. At his wedding, Marcus has a heart attack. Uh-oh. He has a heart attack, and the way they showed how he had the heart attack was pretty cool. He's having these visions while he's, I don't know, unconscious in the hospital. Very well done. But what happens when he wakes up, Marcus, in the hospital after this heart attack, is really strange. He has no wires, nothing attached to him. If you have a heart attack, I'm assuming there's something wrong with your heart, so there's going to be some sort of maybe stint or open heart surgery performed because you had some cloggedness or some sort of thing like that. But the only one in the room is Mike Lowrey. Marcus's family is nowhere to found. If you had a major heart attack, I highly doubt that your wife would not be there by your side or your kids. What makes things even stranger is as soon as he comes to, Mike is asleep on a chair. He jumps right out of bed and runs out of his hospital bed and runs to the roof. Of him on top of the roof thinking he's invincible now. He has no fear and he's on top of the roof in his gown. I wish they would have kept it more realistic. I understand the comedy and banter is what make these two characters amazing. But for me, this was ridiculous. So Mike goes up there trying to talk him down. It was just a very strange sequence of events for a person who just had a serious medical issue. And especially the plot setup they did with Marcus having visions, which was cool. But then you wake up to this horse shit. It's pretty dumb. With all these over-the-top scenes, and acting of silliness, I'm quite shocked how many people are enjoying this movie. I know we're old and we have no gray hair. It's because we use Just for Men. Yeah, we used a lot of it. Yeah, we love that stuff. It's good. Another big issue I have in this movie is the character Teresa, Marcus's wife. We have a recast. Here we are in the 4th movie in the franchise, and they replaced the original Teresa with another Teresa, and they look nothing alike. It's pretty distracting. They have no resemblance. Usually when there's a recast, they try to get someone who looks somewhat similar. It was very distracting. That's not Teresa. Another issue is the character of Captain Howard's daughter, who happens to be a U.S. Marshal. The character of Captain Howard's daughter is played by Rhea Seehporn, who is a terrific actress. We saw her in Better Call Saul. Amazing. But in this movie, this character was so unnecessary. There was no need for this character, and it was a complete waste of her talent and time. Now, I'm complaining a lot here. I have a lot of negative feedback at this point, but there is a lot of cool stuff in this movie. These two guys, who I butchered their name, Adil and Bilall, whatever you say their name, they're very, very talented people. They have a lot of cool things they did in this movie, which is such a shame because of how bad the story is. The story and the overtop goofiness just destroys it. But as far as the way it was filmed, there are some terrific shots, scenes, cinematography, and movements done in this. They include a lot of throwbacks to the previous movies in the franchise. For example, in this scene is the throwback to Bad Boys 2 when they're at the store and someone tries to rob the store. This is how the movie starts here in the 4th one. Another terrific throwback, if you were a true fan or a big fan of this franchise, this scene is famous in the first one, basically turned Will Smith into a movie star. Remember in the first one, he had his half-button shirt and he was running in the street trying to go after the bad guys, say Marcus. You remember that? His little chest muscles and abs were popping out. Michael Bay wanted to put the scene in there instead of turning her into a movie star. Nice throwback to that. Loved it. A little Easter egg for the audience who were fans. Here's a cool shot with Skittles. The little details, right? Marcus loved Skittles, as he did in the other ones. But here's a shootout. There happens to be a bowl of Skittles above him. Bullet hits it, and in this dark room, these colorful Skittles fill the room above him. An amazing shot. It was super cool and original. And then this was one of the coolest scenes shot. They made it appear like a first-person shooter video game. It was awesome. And then there was some behind-the-scenes footage of how it was actually shot. And this new camera rig they came up with to simulate this first-person shooting vision or view. So the camera is mounted around Will around his waist. The camera's in his face, and there's like a gun attached to a thing that spins it. Watch this. He's got it around him. See this whole harness thing around him? The camera's right in his face. He's holding the gun. The gun is on like this handle that can swings and pivots. Watch. Goes around, swings, boom, another point of view, another point of view. It's pretty sweet how they came up with it. And look at it. Look, this is how it looks in the film. Just like a first-person shooter game. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, look at that. It's like Call of Duty out there. Amazing. A brilliant idea, a brilliant way they shot it. One of the coolest scenes I've seen in a long time, and then seeing the behind the scenes of how they came up with that and how it was filmed, even more spectacular. But that's the sad thing. All these great ideas, great shots, a lot of drone footage of the way the camera moves. I loved it. But the stupid silliness, the ridiculousness of this movie was too far over the top. And this topic of Captain Howard being dead, being framed, was so dumb. Why didn't they stick to how the first two were? You got these big drug lords you're trying to take down. More of a realistic, with the buddy cop humor would have been awesome. I feel like these two directors' talents were wasted. But apparently, I'm in the minority, and a lot of people enjoying the movie because it's doing really well and it's getting great reviews. But for my score, overall, I give this thing a 4.3. I just don't understand it. To me, it was wasted. These two directors are great. There is just too much silliness and far-fetchedness. There's a whole scene on a helicopter where they're on that helicopter. They didn't need that helicopter scene. It's unrealistic. Are we doing a satire or a realistic cop movie. The first two are somewhat realistic, but then we got all this craziness and goofiness. Helicopter, all of a sudden it's wrecking and crashing, and they're on it, and then they're gonna land it, and then a plane crashes into the final it was stupid. And then the whole Captain Howard thing, I don't know. What a waste. But that's just my opinion. I'm a huge Bad Boys fan. Love the first two ones. The first two ones. You see what I did there? The first two ones. Especially the second. Second is probably my favorite. Loved it. But this one, the stupidity of the story, the over-the-top helicopter scene, wasted some great talent. And stop using Just for Men. Until next time, thanks for watching.
Now I could feel it in my teeth. I feel the lyrics start to seep out my veins like I bleed. Drop that bass on the beat for a minute when I spit these words to the beat, no limit. I don't make no sense, I don't need no gimmick. I'ma say what I think, be real specific, and I'm master the chase. I'm a pass in the race. You could ask me the way I attack every day. I adapt and I change, never cap, and I say what I mean. I would think, and you know I'm here to stay like, keep my head up, shit gets harder and I get fatter, but that don't give me no